You're an Arizona native from a family of small business owners. You yourself are a small business owner, the granddaughter of immigrants. How has all of that shaped you into the leader you are today, into the representation you want to bring to Arizona today? How has it shaped you?
Well, I'm deeply rooted in Arizona, having a family who chose this wonderful state in the 1930s, and they began a little grocery store business on the corner of 7th Avenue and Buckeye Road in South Phoenix. And with 9 children working in that store, my mother being the 5th of the daughters, I learned those hard lessons about working hard for your family business and ensuring that we are achieving this wonderful American dream story of freedom and opportunity. And as I have served in public service for my career, and as we continue to run our small business, it is something that I think about for the future and my children, and ensuring that we maintain those freedoms and opportunities for the next generation.
How do you think it shapes the way you've been the state treasurer and the way you want to allocate money and handle the money here in our state, the taxpayer dollars?
Yes. Well, as state treasurer, I manage $63 billion of the cash flow that comes in and out of our office. And that goes right back to the taxpayers. And it goes back to schools. It goes back to our local governments so that they have more money that is in their pockets because they are hard-earned tax dollars. So the investments out of my office are really to go back to the people. And I take that very seriously. In fact, I have made financial literacy a part of my platform as state treasurer these last 3.5 years. Financial literacy is so important for young children because they need to know how to be smart with their money management. And I believe there's a direct correlation between how families manage their money and the fiscal health of the state of Arizona.
For sure. What do you think are some of your greatest accomplishments that you've had in this term that you're currently finishing up?
Back in 2020, it was October of the fall, and it was in the middle of a pandemic, and I asked for the Arizona Education Savings Plan to be moved to my office. It's been around for 20 years in Arizona. It was kind of hidden away in a small bureaucratic commission office, and the average family didn't know that Arizona had this wonderful education savings plan that they can start saving for their child's future education, whether it be a university or college education to vocational school, workforce development, and get tax deductions along the way. And so when I learned that the majority of state treasurers across the country are managing this 529 plan in their states, I asked for it to be moved to my office. And that has been 23 months of my administration of this wonderful education savings plan, and we have increased new accounts by 21,700 new accounts. That's roughly 1,000 new families coming in to start saving for their education along the way, and that means more money for their child or their grandchild or their niece or nephew so that they have endless opportunities when it's time to go out into the real world.
Besides education, what are some other areas you think there's opportunity for investment for tax dollars?
We continue to invest in safety, liquidity before yield. That is our financial philosophy. And we continue to look at companies that are strong. United States-based companies are those in our portfolio, and we'll maintain that fiscal philosophy because it has worked for all of these years. In fact, we have outperformed the pension systems in Arizona, the ASRS and PSPRS pension systems. The state treasury, with our internal investment team, has outperformed their investment numbers for 20 years. We'll continue down that path and continue to invest in companies that are strong and United States-based.
Conversely, what do you think are some areas you could improve on if you were to be reelected, or that you'd like to improve on?
Well, I do believe that we have an unsure financial situation here in the country. And while Arizona has been very strong in its economic growth and it's continuing to maintain resiliency post the pandemic, I do believe that we have to navigate how we maintain our policies on budgeting going forward. Because as Arizona may have a surplus today, it may not tomorrow. And we have a number of new members of the legislature coming into their positions after November, and we're going to have to to educate them. I do believe that we in Arizona have thought short term on many things because we're a very, moving state, and we have a lot of things happening. But if we look to the long term, we will be more prepared, and we will be able to prosper and grow what we have in place now. And so I do believe that there is much to be done in improving how we look at our budget, how we look at our growth, and how we look at the money that we have on hand so that we can put that money aside, pay off debt, and ensure that we are prosperous in the years to come.
Okay. What do you want to say to voters as they're headed to the polls?
Well, I believe Arizona voters want that steady financial leader who will be at the helm of this office. The state treasurer's office manages $63 billion, and we have seen an increase in assets under management of 96% under my leadership. And you can't argue with those numbers. The time that we're in this financial uncertainty really does require somebody who understands the job, somebody who loves the job, and someone who will continue to work with families across our great state to ensure that they are safely and wisely investing and putting money aside for that rainy day.
Okay, that's good for me. Thank you so much.